It's now time for closing statements. The candidates will speak in reverse order of the opening statements, and they have 2 minutes each. So first is
Billa.
Mr. Abilla.
Thank you. Once again, I'd like to thank the League of Women Voters and all the residents for coming out to this forum, and those watching by television for showing their interest. This type of forum helps define and clarify similarities and differences between these candidates. I think it's fair to say that all the participants on the dais are concerned about aspects of the governance of Roselle Park. What's important to remember, however, is we must choose carefully the candidate who is time-tested and results-proven. The borough's future and citizens are at stake, so choosing the correct candidate on Election Day is critical. Living in the 3rd Ward for over 50 years, my family and I share the same concerns as you and your family. Quality of life issues in Roselle Park are paramount to me and my running mate. I've made every effort to improve that quality during my term. So together with your help, we can continue the progress we've made in our wonderful town and address all matters efficiently in a cost-conscious setting. Remember, experience and commitment count. My hope is that you will reward all of my past efforts with your support and vote on November 6th. Thank you.
Thank you. Ms. Chen Horning.
Okay. Well, thank you again for the opportunity to participate in tonight's debate. I can't think of a better civics experience than this kind of direct democracy. Well, with opportunity comes a very big responsibility. At so many households, and again tonight, I've said that we need to get serious in Roselle Park. It means setting forth the challenges our borough faces. I decided to seek out the office of 3rd Ward Councilwoman because we need strong decision-making, not glib references to honorary resolutions. We need better than that. The problems are obvious. The local property tax burden is one of the highest in the nation, and our cost of housing is through the roof. The response to this challenge is twofold. We must, when possible, use growth to offset the burden on the local property taxpayer. In this regard, I want to focus on planned growth and development on Westfield Avenue. So far, there's been too little focus on planning and results. In Roselle Park, what we also need to do is start to economize. What we've gotten instead is creeping tax increases, borrowing, and of course, blaming the state and the schools. We must face the reality that the only sound way to lower taxes is to cut spending. This is never easy, but it includes a changed mindset from that which is currently present. Just like every family in the borough, living within our means cannot include increases in spending which exceed our ability to pay for them. News reports say that Governor John Corzine has ordered his cabinet to cut the state budget by $3 billion. Roselle Park should follow the state's lead on a much smaller scale. It comes down to 2 points: living within our means and having the fortitude to be honest with our citizens. I first came to Roselle Park because of my husband's strong family ties. Now we have a young family and are heavily invested in the future of Roselle Park. What we do now will greatly affect what our children will be able to do later on. I want Roselle Park to remain a community where they and all our children and grandchildren will flourish and succeed. I believe that I am the 3rd Ward candidate with the education, background experiences, and personal motivation to get serious about solving the many challenges that Roselle Park faces. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Fonte.
Thank you. I want to close tonight first by once again thanking the residents of Roselle Park here in attendance and the residents watching at home. Let me also thank once again the League of Women Voters. Fellow residents, you have heard many different ideas and views this evening. There is a lot to consider in this election, a lot of issues that concern you, your family, and your community. You must now make a choice to keep the same Republican leadership in power, or a choice to start anew and move this town in a new direction. You can choose to keep the status quo and get only talk of change, or you can support me and get real change. You have my word that if I am elected, you will be put first and you will be listened to without being intimidated or berated for speaking your mind. Fellow residents, I look forward to working with all of you to make Roselle Park the best it can be. As I have said repeatedly, Roselle Park is a great community, but there is still much that needs to be done to make this community the best it can be. It is time to hold this government accountable. No longer should they just expect the residents' vote. They have had their chance to produce and they have failed us. The residents of Roselle Park expect and deserve better. Give me the privilege and honor of serving you, and I will put the interests of the residents first. I promise to fight for you so that all of your concerns and voices are heard loud and clear. Ladies and gentlemen, the politicians work for you. This community is yours, not the politicians. Should I get your support on November 6th, you will get a councilman who will put the residents back to being the main focus. I'm asking for your vote, and I'm asking you to give me the opportunity to work for you, your family, and our community. Give me the honor of serving you as your councilman, and your voices will be heard again. Thank you, and God bless.
Thank you. And Mr. Miranda.
I would like to thank our moderator from the League of Women's Voters and the other candidates who participated in this forum. As I have visited my Fourth Ward neighbors, it has become very clear to me that to successfully meet the needs of our community, we must work together. I promise that if you place your trust in me on November 6th, I will work tirelessly for you and will be your independent voice on council. I will provide you with updates so that you know what your governing body is doing to make sure that Roselle Park continues to meet the ever-changing needs of its residents and remain a community where families want to raise their children. This election is not about politics. It's about what is right for the residents of Roselle Park. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you all. The audience, you had very insightful and important questions. I thank you, and I thank you for your courtesy. You have a very difficult job ahead of you. On November 6th, you have to make two major decisions. Your choices for Third Ward are Ms. Larissa Chan-Horning or Mr. Robert Rabilla. Your choices for Fourth Ward are Joseph Fonte or Modesta Miranda. You have to make major decisions, and the fate of your community will rest on them. Thank you very much, and don't forget, vote and bring your friends to vote. Thank you.
Thank you.